Hello, friends. I'm Box Vandy. Thank you for being here. Welcome to the new people that are coming to my channel. I hope I can inspire you. I share my life story on my channel, and on this Nomadic Confession series, I share some deeper things that I normally share. So hopefully, I can help people by sharing my story. Previously, I shared how somebody in my life was always controlling the situation, telling me what to do, when to do, how to do, forcing me to do what they wanted me to. I never really had a choice in anything, really. I was not my own person. Today, I am. I like to hear both sides of the story. If somebody tells me something, I want to check out and see what is believable and what is not believable. I do my research. I check the facts. Today, there are a lot of people telling us what to do. There are a lot of people taking away our choices. I believe that God gave us freedom of choice, free will. I believe that He wanted us to make the right choices, but He also gave us the opportunity to make wrong choices for ourselves. We all have to face the consequences of our choices. As children, we really don't have choices. We have to do whatever anybody tells us to do. It's not always for our benefit. We're always told it is, but it's not always for our benefit. I learned at a very young age that doing what you're told doesn't always turn out well. So late in life, I learned that I need to judge for myself. I need to think for myself, not believe everything everybody tells me, not do everything everybody else does. God gave us such great intelligent minds to be able to think and to discern right from wrong, good from bad. In the last 3 years, we've been told what we have to do. We have not been given a choice over our own bodies. We were told, just like when we were kids, it's for our benefit. It's good for us to do what they force us to do. Not all the ones that say they're experts or knowledgeable are. I've talked to people in the health field who are way smarter than the people that were telling us what to do. Believe me. But I've done the research. So I made my own choices. I didn't do everything they told me to do. I'm in control of my life and my body and myself. I have to pay the consequences for the choices I make. And so does everybody else. If they listen to everything they're told and do everything they're told, then the people that made the choices for us told so many falsehoods. They always said it's for our benefit. We were told not to get close to each other, not to go to church, not to gather together as family. We were told we had to take something into our bodies that was bad for us. And because of that, many people are suffering the consequences of going along just doing what they're told. Sometimes we need to stand up for what is right. And I have learned in the last 6 years, really, to stand up for myself, to make choices for myself, not always do what I'm told if it's bad for me. So, on a positive note, you can see behind me, this is not a green screen. I was blessed with this beautiful fifth wheel trailer. It has a full size slide out and it has everything you can imagine. Some wonderful subscribers of mine contacted me. I didn't know who they were. They have never commented on my channel as far as I know. And I never heard their names before. But they contacted me and told me they have this fifth wheel trailer and that it's just sitting there deteriorating. They needed space for their tractor and they would like to bless me with this. I felt really funny accepting it because I'd never been good about accepting gifts. I had a really hard time with it. So they finally agreed to let me give them a little bit, whatever I could afford. And so that's what we did. But they don't want their names mentioned. They don't want anybody to know who they are. They want to give God all the glory. So I do thank God. Thank you, God, for this wonderful home. And I thank all my new friends who I cannot name. And I also want to thank all the friends that have come through for me and helped make my life so much better over the past 6 years, really 3.5 years. I don't always put out videos of everything everybody does. I don't always give shout outs, but I do try to thank everybody individually and personally, unless I have no way to contact them. So if I have no way to contact them, then I just can say thank you, anonymous friends, and I appreciate you. Thank you so much. I feel so blessed and so loved. You know, God has blessed me in the last 6 years so much, and it's made up for everything I went through. I'm very happy, and life is not perfect. It never will be. We still have to cope and deal with our everyday problems, but I'm so blessed. I thank God in heaven for moving the hearts of so many people. I'm still a work in progress. I'm still healing, but I'm making a lot of progress. And I'm hoping I can inspire others to make progress, to change their lives, to have faith in God, love their neighbor, and love themselves into healing, the healing power of love. I'm not always positive, but I try to be as much as I can. So by the time this series is over, I hope I have shared some ways I have healed, things I've done to make my life better, and things that has happened to me that has changed me. I'm no longer negative and miserable and hard to be around, hopefully. um, I'm, I am strong-willed and I am pretty blunt. I try to be tactful, but sometimes I say things I shouldn't. But I hope you can learn from some of my mistakes. Hopefully, people that watch this will realize they don't have to go through the school of hard knocks. Hopefully, they can learn from somebody else's mistakes. So, things not to do. Don't do what Box Van D did. Don't go through all the trials that Box Van D made. Get help or do what you can to change your life and find something to smile about. Anyhow, at the end of this series, I will share more about the healing process, and then it should not go on forever. I hope to be able to write a book someday and have all the details, things that I can share on this platform. I will probably use an alias name and for myself and my family for their privacy. I'm getting older, 70 years old, and I had a stroke, and don't know how long I have to be able to share this story. So hopefully, if I live long enough, the book will get published someday, maybe. Anyhow, people have always encouraged me to do a book. Anyhow, sorry for rambling so long. I really need to get into the story that I want to share with you tonight. But I also wanted to comment that I have received so many, actually overwhelming response to the last couple of videos of people who have shared with me how they have gone through some of the same things or are going through some of the same things, and they feel encouraged, they feel inspired, they feel like me sharing that they don't feel so alone. They realize that there is hope. So I'm grateful that I'm reaching people with that message because we do have hope and we can heal. And it's really important to me to make sure that you know that. I'll be continuing with this story, and I'm going to start where I left off. I thought I would talk about my dad. I was very close to my dad, even though he was the most abusive in my family. He had a way of convincing me that he was helping me or teaching me, and he would tell me that I need to learn how to be a good wife or a woman and things like that. And he would, I was just so little when it all started, very young, very young. And, you know, I guess he was buying my affection because he would do more things for me than the other kids. I could get away with a lot with him. With my mother, not a chance. My mother was in denial. She never would admit or acknowledge that my dad was doing the things he did. And and even my dad's friends would come over and uh, do things they shouldn't. One, my dad was kind of a flirt and out, even in public, he would always flirt with the waitress if we were in a restaurant. And he would, even though we were broke, he would leave a good tip. I can remember, you'll like this story, but I remember we were at eating, I don't know, a bowl of soup or a breakfast cereal, something in a restaurant, maybe pancakes, I don't know. And when we were done, my dad left a dollar bill on the table, and back then that was a lot of money. And as we were all walking out, my baby sister come running up to Daddy. She said, "Daddy, Daddy, you forgot your money." And she thought he forgot the money. She didn't understand that it was a tip. She was still really little, and this, you know. Anyhow, that I thought I shared that story to make you smile a little bit. Um, and my brother beat up us girls every day. He could get away with anything. I mean, he was my mother's pet, and he would. He would lie. They never believed us. He did some really crazy things. But I'll tell you, one day we were living in Thousand Palms, California, and we were living in a grapefruit orchard. Uh, been there for a short period, and their house next to us, near us, not right next to us, but near us, a bunch of boys would hang out with my brother, and there was an old carpet outside, and I was on a old concrete slab, guess from a previous building that had been there. And my brother and his friends got a hold of me and wrapped me up in that carpet, and they rolled me down the hill. When I know I shared this on my channel before, but I was scared to death. I thought I was going to suffocate. And when I finally got out of there, I waited till my brother wasn't paying attention, and I went over and slugged him, popped him in the nose, broke his nose. When my parents got home, they had to take him to the doctor or hospital wherever they took him. I guess they never told them how it happened because I didn't get in trouble at all. And then later on, I think we all told them what happened. But he was really mean. He would take me and my younger sisters and strip us down in the middle of the hot desert. You know, it gets 120, 125 degrees in Palm Springs, just like it does here in Quartzsite in the summers. And we were in a house for a few months, and he stripped all of her clothes off and pushed us outside and locked all the doors so we can get back inside. We were stark naked outside. Guess he thought it was funny because I think there were nudists living in the house next doors. So I'm sure that's where he got the idea. And just before my parents were due to get home, he let us back in. So they didn't believe it when we told them what happened. He could he could do anything really. Maybe once a year my dad would take him out and whoop his butt. He said on general principles for anything you might have done that if we didn't catch you on, my mother would go to spank him and he would never cry. She told him men don't cry, and he always said when she was whipping him, which she never whipped him very hard, but he always said, "Little daddy's little man don't cry." And he would laugh and laugh and laugh while she's hitting him. She gave up. She never was very strict with him. Anyhow, those are just a few small things that my brother did, and it was pretty bad at times, really bad. And so my brother's friends got together with him one time, and they got a hold of me and took me in a house, and they abused me. And it was hard because my brother was right there along. He wasn't doing it. He watched everybody, and it was pretty sad. I remember that day I tried to run away, and I went to a orchard, and I sat on a tree stump for hours and hours. I was afraid to go home because I didn't. Why would they? I always felt like it was my fault. I felt such guilt and shame and embarrassment, and of course, nobody knew but me and the people that did it. So I grew up thinking there was really something wrong with me. Hmm, I might have to delete some of this. I don't know if I can let this ride. Um, so I think that's a good place to end it for tonight. And I'll go on from here on to the next one. That's a pretty heavy load. Hopefully, I've made you laugh as well as feel sad. So, hopefully, the things I'm sharing are helping somebody. That's my goal. Thank you for watching. If not already subscribed, please do so. Hit the thumbs up. Share this out if you think it'll help somebody. Thank you. Bye bye.